start recording now. Oops. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me bring up something to test it by. So we have. Oops. Our total screen. And we have our play area, more or less. And I can actually put that inside you.
Okay. One question about rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Can the battleship now rotate right once if the submarine is here?
It
Like do this or no?
Yeah, it can do that. Yeah, it as the only parameter is that the final destination cannot be intersecting another ship or
Uh-huh.
be off the grid.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Yeah, and intentionally so. If the player had to track rotation impossibilities, I think it would just be needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
All right, so we would have you and plate area more or less, and at the bottom. Got our side panels. We've got that. And we would have at the very whoop, something like that. And we could even say $90 whenever we have a ship selected.
Mm-hmm.
And you could also show the possible movement options for that battleship. So you can go there, or you can go there with a battleship. So when you click on the battleship, you'll see these three things pop up at the bottom. Click on the right, it rotates 90 degrees to the right. Click on the left, rotates 90 degrees to the left. And if you click either of those, um, these two green options go away because your total movement is reduced by one. If you don't click on the arrows, you can click on one of these and move the ship, and then these arrows would thus go away. Or gray out. Gray out might be a bit more intuitive since you'll still see the option, but incapable of clicking it because you've moved all your movement points.
Okay. We already have this. I just need to update the UI a little bit.
Yeah, effectively, that's all it is.
But my issue was, do you see that green part under the ship? It would be hard to click on it.
Mm.
Unless we have it on top of the ship. And it won't look good if we do that, probably.
Okay, so perhaps slightly less intuitive but more practical, we could have this be the indicator for going backwards one for the battleship and the cruiser and such and so forth. Like if you click this, if I change this back to blue. Clicking this would have the stern go back one instead of the bow forward, or the bow back, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
then,
makes sense. We can just replace it with, yeah, I mean, add some arrow visual into it. And again, that we have already, so I can do that as well if we need to. So yeah, I guess that's a decision. I don't know how easy it would be for player to understand how many times can they move. What if they move and they want to reset and start over? Because there potentially should be a time before they can maneuver the ship and then say, okay, it's final. And before that, they should be free to change their decision, in my opinion.
So this just came to mind with that. Why don't we have the kind of like in some iterations of the Yu-Gi-Oh games when you have like your draw phase or whatever, like your your trap phase or whatever the hell, like it's a timed phase in some iterations, or in other games like that. So when we have the phase or whatever word it is that's for the player movement when they select the ship to move, then they would essentially have, I would want to say, with a different level of difficulty with a different number of ships, they would likely have different numbers of moves as the rounds progressed, and a limited time to make said moves. Like round 5, they can only move destroyer 3 times, but they got 60 seconds in between to actually choose where they want to move it. As an example.
That we can add later. Yeah.
Well, I just meant as far as to address the concern you were talking about, because I mean that just popped in their head.
Yeah, that's a good one. But
so
before that, we need to have the 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 movement figured out, like how what's and
Yeah, like what's gonna move how? I got you.
yeah. So the reset button and the move left button is a good idea, but we also need to probably disable the rotation once a single move is made, right? Like grayed out or something like that.
yeah, when it no longer has any movement points left, that's when it's grayed out, and that's when no green things would appear. Um, the one thing to keep in mind if we do a reset button style thing is if you move a ship and then you move another ship and you reset the first ship, there's a possibility that you would then be in conflict with the second ship you moved if it moved into the space that the previous ship was in. So like if you move let's say you rotate a battleship 90 degrees and now it's like over here, and then you move a sub over here where the battleship used to be, and then you click the battleship and you decide, actually I didn't want to do that, and you click the reset, well now you're in conflict with the other move you made, which was the sub. Now the sub's in the way, effectively. So to that, we can have either a lock-in type thing where you have to go ship by ship, starting with sub, destroyer, cruiser, battleship, for example, and then once they've moved, you have to lock in at that point. Or it can be the case that once you move a ship and you move another ship, if you want to reset it, the reset is grayed out if it would conflict. If it wouldn't, then you can do it. Or you can have, instead of a reset for specific ships, you can have an undo, where you just undo the last thing you did. And then you could repeat that, basically to the start of the movement phase. Which of those options feels most intuitive?
Can you say the last one again, please?
Instead of a reset button, you'd have an undo button, which basically just undoes whatever the last movement you did was. And then you could keep pressing that button until you get to the start of the movement phase, effectively, when you haven't moved anything.
That would be harder to implement, but it's possible.
Would that only be usable during the movement phase, or like what would be the limitations on it?
Well, yeah, it would only be used during the movement phase. The fire phase is literally
So
an
essentially,
instantaneous
if you
fire.
made so literally like undoing in like the engine space or some shit. Like if you do something so far, then you can just undo all the way back to redo your ship choices.
Yeah, think of it like writing text in a Word document or
Yeah.
doing any kind of modeling. You Control Z, Control Z, Control Z is effectively the same thing.
Okay.
I would suggest not go there for now, and just because it will just take more time. But if you have the manpower, I mean, even if we have it, this is still, I think, too much. The undo, the reset we can have.
Sure. Do you want to go the reset option then?
Just because for the sake of it being easy, and if we got time later on, then we can have it.
So effectively, what the reset will do is it'll reset all the ships back to the state they were at the beginning of the movement phase, and they'd have all their movement points left, or they can move however
All
they
the ships or your selected ship.
want. I would think all of them, and my reason being is that you'll run into the same confliction scenario, where if you move one ship and you reset it, there's a possibility that you moved another ship into its path.
That's why you suggest undo. Okay. Yeah, the undo is doable, but for me, it's another day of work probably. But I guess we can have a reset at first, and then.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do a reset because that should be relatively simple to implement. All you need to do is capture the grid coordinates of all your ships at the start of the movement phase, and then click the button and set their coordinates at the activation. So the player can decide after that. It's not too big of a deal. It's just a couple extra movements if you moved somewhere you didn't mean to.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I can do these changes probably by Sunday. I mean, like not all this, but also the restriction of the movement and have each ship have their own set of rules for movement, and according to the document.
Alrighty.
We need somebody to work on the attack patterns. I think Jason is already onto the enemy wave manager because I broke it with the changes. So sorry about that.
Well, I was going to do the AI movement, so it's not. I mean, I can do the choices of what is movable where at the same time.
Okay. If you like, you can do that as well. I mean,
I can.
that would. Yeah. Okay. Just probably some we for merging we need to talk a little bit because some of our works might interfere, but some may not. I'm not sure. Yeah, totally.
And I can jump on the attack patterns if that needs updating.
I can show you where to look and fix that. So there are other things. One would be the button to change phase, like so not well, we need kind of like a state machine, like to set, okay, now it's player's turn, is player ship movement phase, then firing phase, then we have, however, then we have same for enemy, and yeah, all this needs to be handled by a class or two, and that's a little it can be a bit complicated. It's not too complicated, but do we have a volunteer for that? I was hoping Jason is going to do that and I do the movement, but that's also.
I can also do that.
Wasn't someone already working on the UIs?
Okay, yeah. It's not
Yeah,
just
like
the UI. It's like a connection of between the gameplay and the UI. The UI is a small
like-
part of it.
I can do whatever UI set of it, but I'm not anywhere near like my programming is shit. So I mean, if there's any kind of like technicality to it, you might want to have somebody else take care of that, and I'll just link up with them for the UI part of it.
Yeah, this it's a bit of experience in my opinion. So I don't know like what the skill set of Connor, but Jason can handle it, I'm sure. But and I can handle it, and yeah, so we can decide on that.
I mean, I got a bit of experience. I mean, I've been working on Serenus Forest for the past 5 months. But
Okay.
if
you like to give it a go, even if you're not experienced enough, sorry if I talk like that, it's my bad. But if you feel like you want to do it, go ahead and start doing it. If you have issues, then you can always contact me or Jason or whoever is available to help you out. So
right.
it's not, yeah, it's possibility. And also you can use, I think, AI to get help, so that's also a great source.
Yep. So phase shifter and the attack pattern update.
So attack pattern
and phase shifter. So movement phase
Okay.
transitions to attack phase and whatnot.
okay. So what, Robert, what do you want to work on?
I'll continue to work on the attack pattern.
Okay, it's just because Connor said I can work on that. But if you like, so Connor, just do the.
So what do you guys want me to do?
And Robert can work on the attack pattern.
All right.
All right.
And yeah. So just Robert, read the document. There are some changes, and or maybe it was not clear. I now know, like, I think I know how it works. So if you have questions, do let me know. Right now we have attack patterns for 3 of them. The Battleship is working correct, and the other one was the Destroyer is also working correct. So what needs to be changed
The cruiser and the
is the cruiser. Cruiser is not implemented, and yeah, the other one is also the submarine is also
submarine.
not following the direction of the submarine. Also, one more thing is I forgot. Yeah, okay. I forgot.
It'll come back later.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, so I did reach out to. Certainly.
Did we talk about the art part?
Oh no, that's good. Good, you're here. We need a submarine and a cruiser.
Model?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what size should it be? Like bigger than the battleship or smaller?
The cruiser should be somewhere between the 2 models that you sent. So it should be.
What do we have for now?
Let me share my screen so you can see. be a lot better. Okay, so this is your big ship, right? You gave me. This is
biggest
now, yeah, the battleship. It's our biggest ship, and I think it's decent enough to fill 4 squares. This is the cruiser. We don't have a model for it. It should be like 3 cells, so it should be a little bit smaller than this. And it can by smaller I mean just the length. The width is good.
Okay.
Don't yeah, in my opinion. And this is a submarine. So I'm not sure how can you design a submarine that is visible inside one cell. So that's the smallest one.
Okay. Okay.
So that's up to you how to design it. I just put a cube here, like scaled it a little.
No problem. I will send you the model and the texture before Monday we meet.
Okay, if you can send it by Sunday is also good, but Monday is also good. One more thing is, I remembered. The audio and the visual effects. I thought we had someone or wanted to ask someone to do
So
that.
I messaged Christina, and she has not gotten back to me. I have a little bit of auto experience, and I have connect with someone who is very experienced with audio, so I'm not afraid to tackle that and at least try to get something started for that.
Did you ping her in the channel?
No, I DM'd her directly.
Ping her first, and then if she did not respond in a day, then do what you feel is best.
Okay, I got you.
That's my opinion.
I'll do it. Whatever helps.
Yeah, I think it's best to be here, to be pinged here, so because the professors are here, so they can see, um, yeah, the collaboration and who's working or not. Just my idea. Just might be irrelevant. So, what's
You said
next?
audio and the asset manager.
Yeah, it's audio and SFX and VFX actually. Yeah, audio effects and visual effects.
Okay.
It's just like importing from the assets, right? Just to find us the proper assets, and even if they cannot, just download the assets and just send us somehow in a zip file or something so we can import it.
Oh, I was gonna actually make the audio. Visual effects, yeah, that could be downloaded. I ain't doing any of that shit.
Okay.
Visual.
However, Phil, it's the best. I'm not an expert in those areas at all.
I got you.
So one thing visually to discuss, the perspective view in particular is creating a kind of this kind of effect where parts of it are how do I describe it? It's not a rectangular type vision, so we're having extra diagonal space at the top, and the UI elements are like cutting in at the bottom. Is there a way to fix that?
So
Oh,
it wasn't as bad. It started getting really prominent whenever I started poking around with the whatchamacallit, with the aspect ratio. Whenever you were talking about like the view of it. So I mean, it can be made better by changing the aspect ratio. As far as fixing like the angle of it, you got
Okay, can you see my screen?
E-
Okay, so
it's gray.
so one, you cannot see my screen.
I think I can if
Let me stop sharing. About the UI, I just wanna give some tips.
there it is.
Okay. So first of all, put the mode on full HD, and then where's the HUDs here? Okay, so let's go through your. Okay, so you see when it's on full HD, some of the areas are outside. Let's figure out what's going on. So this one is the width is set like manually, but what you need to do is press Shift and Alt and use this one. This way it will always fit, no matter the size. And go for the other one, do the same. And now it's a bit better, but we want this to be under the pause button. So in order to fix that, again, what you can do is, wait a minute. Where's that button?
Digger, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it was like the shift alt and everything. That's how the UI was and is set up. Like that is like what you're doing. Like I've already done that. So what messed it up was there was an issue with the layout of it and some of the anchors when pressing play, and I just didn't go back and rearrange all of the buttons individually because it like the exact placement didn't matter for the previous milestone. But the issue with like them overlapping the game field is whenever I'm at my computer, I would share my screen. When you're on the game screen, the aspect ratio was changed, which just condensed and moved some of the layout in. If that's what you were talking about. So that actually was already fixed, but when I was playing around the aspect ratio, it unfixed it. So I just need to go back in and readjust those for the next milestone.
So with my changes right now, as you can see, no matter the aspect ratio, these parts will never go under the pause button, or they will never overlap. So
that's not that. I think that's why I can't share my screen. That's not exactly what I see what you're saying, but that's not what I was talking about when I was talking about the overlap. But yeah.
Any other overlap?
I was talking about the overlap that Connor was talking about, where it cuts into the corners.
Yeah, I was just doing a demonstration of what you can do, but what? So what's the other overlap? This one?
So it's typically in the Battleship UI, you'll have a taller perspective than you have wide, like a 3x4 or a 7x8 type perspective. And in those kind of situations, due to the perspective of the camera, the closer the grid is, the wider it is, and the further away, the shorter it is on the side. That's just due to the nature of perspective view. And if it's wide enough at the base, the side panels will start cutting in. So, like, for example, if you took the edges and pulled them in, like the side edges, you'll see a little bit of that. If the closer you get to like a 7x8 or 3x4 type perspective.
So do you mean like? So in that case, you can always work with the camera. I thought you were talking about the UI. Sorry.
Both, yes. It's the UI based on the camera.
So do you want the UI also to be tilted a little bit? Is that it?
Well, that
I didn't follow. I think.
I'm just creating the observation that when it's in that 3, 4, 7, 8 ideal like perspective where it's taller than it is wide, it's gonna have that slant, that yeah. So I think a more top down type approach will give
We
us
can do that.
yeah, yeah. Doesn't have to be perfectly top down, but like that'll greatly reduce the edging effect.
So we can do like 80-degree maybe, and do something like that. Go 65, 63. Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, this is not bad, maybe. Yeah, I mean, feel free to play with these values, Connor.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not going to push my changes. I will leave it to you for setting this up.
What you were changing the speed? What were you changing? What rotation were you changing to do that? I'm on my phone. I tried to look at it right before you closed. I couldn't find it. It's squinting my eyes that much.
Huh? Sorry.
Oh, I was trying to ask what Tahir was rotating in order to change the board rotation.
Oh, it's the camera.
Yeah, I was moving the camera.
Okay.
All right. Well, that covers
Okay.
the art tasks, code tasks. Any design questions or tasks?
I have one for art. Do we have any of the like the buttons for the pause menu or anything I can start decorating with? Or I think I saw that come up a couple times, but I haven't actually. I didn't see anything, any messages saying that there was. Is there?
You mean like the assets themselves?
Yeah, like buttons or any of like the whatever we're gonna use for the UI. Am I supposed to be keeping an eye out for any final assets of that nature, or is it just we're gonna keep using all the basic gray block shit?
Yeah, I don't think we've set a task for the actual.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure if I should be looking for it. Yeah. All right.
Not this week. I don't
Oh
think.
no, you know what it was? It was the I'm thinking the upgrade buttons and all that UI stuff that Felipe was working on. That's what I'm thinking about. I got that because he was posting all those design questions about the mock-ups that he did, and I got that confused with the other UI that I thought we needed. My bad.
Well, once we've got the ships, which is the most important, probably art tasks, all 4 of them in, we can start shifting the art tasks over to UI elements.
Yeah, there's no biggie, no rush on my end. I was just making sure as far as I didn't want to not be doing anything if there was shit ready for me to be doing as far as, decorating aside from what I'm already doing.
Yeah, just setting up the groundwork, and then we can make it pretty later.
All right.
All right. Did anyone else have any other questions, concerns, or comments? Going once, going twice. Sold. We are adjourned. Thanks for coming, everyone. I will be
Thanks.
in Discord, and if you got any more questions you can think of later on, just post them. We're all here.
Okay.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
I guess.
Test.